Time to fight!
Come on, guys. Okay, you got your instructions. I want you to obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Good luck.
So the stage is set. The big rubber match. Stieglitz, the champion, the favourite. Abraham, the old champion. I have to say, when those introductions were being made, he maybe 34, Abraham, but he certainly facially, physically looks every year of his age. He's got a few miles on the clock now, but can he roll back the pages for one more terrific performance? Stieglitz just blitzed him last time out. Will he gamble? Will he try to do the same again?
Well, it looks like he's come straight at Abraham again. I thought the first, in the second fight when he did this, I thought it wasn't a smart tactic, but it worked. And he's going for it again, trying to keep Abraham on the back foot.
Paltroch, Andre Ward, Durrell, they're the three men other than Stieglitz who've beaten Abraham in this long career. And often he's had a struggle against fighters who are able to just jab and move. Stieglitz has kind of torn up that blueprint. He just blitzed him last time out, and the feeling is, and the suspicion is, in the opening stanza here, that he might be trying to do the same again.
Well, Abraham's never been the hardest fighter to hit, has he? Good bit of football getting up from Abraham, wasn't it? Making Stieglitz miss by miles.
Gennaro Rodriguez, very experienced referee. He'll, I'm sure, do a good job here tonight. A lot of support in this Magdeburg GETEC arena for Stieglitz. This is home territory, Russian-born, but now this is his city, this is his crowd.
Pick it up, step back, step back, step back, step back.
I think Stieglitz is getting a little bit too close. He's so eager to get onto Abraham. But he wants to let go with that right hand, doesn't he? But he's just getting a little bit too close. Just a little bit too over-eager.
It was Abraham's left eye which swelled up so dramatically in the last fight. March last year, that was. It seemed like a year ago, doesn't it?
Not at all, really, doesn't it?
Abraham has always tended to fight in bursts. Never one to fight 3 minutes of a round. He produces usually eye-catching flurries around about this stage of the round. Oh, good shot from Stieglitz. Two landed simultaneously, and the more authoritative punch was the right hand of Stieglitz's.
Oh, good right hand there from Abraham. I'm just surprised how many punches Stieglitz is taking going forwards, though. He's taking too many, more than he did in the last fight. Just a little bit over-eager, I feel, and I think Abraham boxing quite well off the back foot.
Well, Abraham up on his toes and showing plenty of mobility in that opening round, and an interesting opening round.
Yeah, it really was. I think, you thought Stieglitz would have allowed Abraham to maybe come at him a bit, trying to pick him off, but he did what he did in the last fight and jumped right on him. I think I maybe just edged Stieglitz, just I think for the going forward and a little bit of the higher work rate, but it was a close one. Abraham picked him off in stages there, landed him some good shots.
Stieglitz looking to make the fights, looking to force the pace, be seen as the aggressor, but as you said, there's some decent counter-punching.
100%. Ja, bleib schön rechts.
This is the Stieglitz corner.
Ja? Und nicht von zu weit. Sonst ist gut. Pass auf die Deckung drauf. Alles gut. Wenn rechts bleibt, ist alles in Ordnung. Passiert ja nicht. So weiter so.
Little graze around the left-hand side, the bridge of his nose. He has got features that can mark up. I remember in the first fight, he got marked up around both eyes, didn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he marks up quite easy, doesn't he? That's why it was a shock with Abraham in the last fight, in the second fight.
First time Abraham's ever really been injured in that way, at least that I can remember.
Good jab there from Abraham.
He looks sharp, doesn't he, tonight, the old fella? The old champion, I should say. 34 is hardly an old fella, is he?
No, not at all.
Not by my standards, anyway.
Again, Abraham landing with the jab there. Stieglitz trying to land with the left hook, but again, he's just too overeager, Abraham, Stieglitz. He's like he's almost forgotten about defensive work. I think he wants to make Abraham work for every minute of every round, something he's not used to doing.
Stieglitz caught again by Abraham's jab as he came in trying to force the pace. And what you can certainly say at this stage is that Stieglitz has not been able to dominate these early stages as he did last time out.
No, he's been a little bit crude, hasn't he, Stieglitz?
A little bit over-anxious maybe, just sort of wanting to go in there and wanting it just that wee bit too much.
Yeah, possibly. And Abraham keeping the cool head, and just for me at the moment in this round, just picking him off slightly.
Again, Stieglitz missing a little bit embarrassingly with that big swing of the left hand. Oh, that's nice from Abraham. Look at the punch speed there. That's a flash of the Abraham. Oh, that's a good right hand.
Cracking right hand. Nice little 1-2 there from Abraham, right through the guard of Stieglitz.
Well, good hand speed there from Abraham. Certainly something we've not seen for a while.
Again, something that we spoke of earlier in the night. Injection of pace, wasn't it, from Abraham? Just changing the tempo of the fight all of a sudden. Stieglitz just caught unawares.
Good jab again from Abraham. And using good footwork once more, and a little smile as much as to say, you thought I was a static fighter? Here's a little bit of something you weren't expecting. Stieglitz there, getting in with his own right hand.
Yeah, good right hand there, wasn't there, from Stieglitz, catching Abraham on top of the head.
Another interesting round. And Stieglitz not able to dominate as he did last year.
No, that's a round for Abraham for me.
Cleaner work.
Yeah, and the clearer round. I think the first round was anyone's round. I give it to Stieglitz, but that round for sure was for Abraham's work. Picked him off, and then a little flurry of punches, landing with every one of those, maybe 5 or 6 punches.
Now, what have we got there, Barry? Look at that. That might be a clash of heads, and look at that swelling above the left eye. And that, oh my word, that's coming up by the second. I hope that's not going to be one of those really alarming ones.
It's just a little burst of speed there and combination work of Abraham.
It's a good attack, that, wasn't it?
It's brilliant, wasn't it? Because he threw the 1-2, flurried with some hooks to the body, and then finished with the 1-2 on top.
Must have been a clash of heads that's caused that.
Yeah, but could he be that unlucky twice?
Well, let's hope not. Let's hope not. He certainly doesn't deserve it to happen again. Good round, that last one for Abraham. Absolutely concur with your scoring of that, Barry. 1 apiece, and we go into the third, 12th round of the WBO Super Middleweight title at stake. You sense that the crowd is just waiting to burst into its own action in support of Stieglitz. If only he can put an attack together, and he's not really been able to find the target.
No, he's, like I said, he's been a bit crude, over-anxious, and he's just, reaching for the target. And obviously, with his over-eagerness to get close, he's getting too close. And that right hand's usually going over the top of the guard and right around the back of the head there and missing to the target altogether. And Abraham, which really we would call the brawler, is becoming the boxer.
Early stages, though, a fight which could have many a twist and a turn as it unfolds. I just thought there was a likelihood this third one could go long and could really, with both men in the latter stages being dragged right into the trenches, it could become something pretty attritional.
Yeah, you would feel that. The first fight was quite that, wasn't it? Real, you know, two very, very close fight, back and forth.
Abraham again just able to slip the punch, get inside and hold on, and it's Stieglitz who gets the telling off, and you hear referee Rodriguez saying clearly, no more, no more. He's had his warning.
That's what Stieglitz is looking for. He's looking for that right hand. He's looking to slip the jab of Abraham and land with that right hand over the top.
Well, Abraham's aware of it, and Stieglitz hasn't, I don't think. Certainly may have got the odd one. No, you can't do that. He's not been able to get through. Not with the right hands he'd want.
No, and Abraham just catching him with a nice little left right there as Stieglitz rushed in.
No, break up, let's go, break up.
Abraham able to tie Stieglitz up. That again, punching on the break this time, and not for the first time. I think the referee's patience is being tested by Stieglitz.
And he lands with a couple of shots there, Stieglitz. He's done all the forcing, but he's actually had no quality work, have he? And I just think he's...
Well, he's cramping. He's crowding his own space, isn't he?
He's too aggressive, isn't he? Too hyped up, too wound up.
Well, we saw some of the pictures earlier on from the dressing room of Stieglitz, and he certainly looked then really psyched up, and he was at that stage some 20 minutes, half an hour away from fight time. And there's Abraham showing that he's not going to be messed around. He's trying to demonstrate that he's a physically strong guy and he will not be out-brawled. Protests from the Stieglitz corner. Abraham gesticulates as much as to say, well, he started it.
Yeah, I can't see what the problem is, to be honest. Stieglitz was holding on to him, really, wasn't he?
Stieglitz didn't do a deal there.
No.
I mean, is that another Abraham round?
It is for me, John. I think Stieglitz forced the fight, but didn't actually land with any quality of punches. And for me, Abraham again landing with 1-2s, catching Stieglitz coming forwards.
Denk dran, dass du mit Tempo reingehst, wenn du reingehst, ja? Dass du nicht zu lange auf der Distanz stehst und wartest. Ja? Geh rein, ja? Geh immer hin, diese kleinen Schnellen, der weiß ja nicht, wann du schlagen sollst. Verstehst du?
Well, they know the man at the moment isn't really delivering, and the game plan that 73-year-old Uli Wegner has worked out for Arthur Abraham at the moment, Abraham, to me, looks as though he's fighting a smart fight.
Well, I just know he's had the fight brought to him, haven't he, Abraham? Stieglitz, their tactic is to put the fight, make Abraham work for every minute of every round, which is not a bad tactic to have. But as the words you use, the over-eager, that's what he is, Stieglitz, and he's spoiling and smothering his own work. And because he's so intent on trying to bully and make Abraham work, he's neglecting his defence coming forward and getting picked off.
Dirk Zemsky in his corner. Stieglitz being told to throw punches in flurries, really let them go, but he's winding up and trying to really load up on every punch, and I don't think it's helping him at this stage.
No, he telegraphing a couple of those big wide hooks there, wasn't he? And
good jab from Abraham. Stieglitz coming in inside, trying to work inside, but Abraham sufficiently long in the tooth just to tie him up and stop anything meaningful happening when he gets there.
Well, even though no one's winning the round, Abraham for me is not winning the rounds by a massive margin, but he's the more relaxed of the two, and that's what Stieglitz corner should have been telling him. Just, you know, you've got to relax him. He'll still come forward, still with intent. You've got to relax. He's too tense up, and you've seen it earlier on. Abraham threw a right hand, Stieglitz was half a second behind with that left hook counter.
All our leading super middleweights, I would bet, will be watching this right now and forming their own opinions. Some of whom have been with Abraham, or one of whom's been with Abraham, and the others hoping that they will get the chance maybe somewhere down the line. Abraham again was cute to that rather crude lunge from Stieglitz and caught him with a little right-hand counter. He looks so much sharper than he has done in his recent fights.
He's looked poor, hasn't he? Let's be honest.
Disinterested.
Yeah, he's looked poor.
That's better from Stieglitz. Got in with the right hand at last. Corner, incidentally, has done a decent job with that swelling above the left eye of Abraham. Been working away with the ice pack between rounds and doesn't seem to have noticeably worsened. good from Abraham.
And again, good footwork there from Abraham. It's not something you'd say very often.
Stieglitz just looking a bit disorganised. He's
too wound up. I think being at home, you know, sometimes having a massive crowd behind you can sometimes have the adverse effect. You try to a little bit too hard to please the crowd.
Well, he'll know he's the favourite. He's got the massive payday. He's the champion. And he'll also be more aware than anybody that at this stage, coming towards the end of the 4th round, as the heads go banging in again, that it's not going his way.
No, for me, again, it's another round for me that he's being outboxed. Landed a good right hand there, though.
How the judges see it, of course, we will see. A couple of Americans, Michael Pernick, Clark San Martino, and Paul Thomas, the Derby man. Crowd loving it.
Sonst alles gut, ja? Wenn hier macht, zieht einen Plan weiterhin konsequent durch.
Not a classic yet, Barry, but it's fascinating, and there's a bit of swelling there under that right eye of Stieglitz, and I think that's testimony to the accuracy and the sting of the jab of Arthur Abraham.
Yeah, and also I just think with Stieglitz just looking, he's so intent about going forward. Again, he's taking too many punches coming forward. I don't think he's not getting a hammer in, and it's a close fight. But for me, the last 3 rounds have been for Arthur Abraham. I think he's boxed well off the back foot. He's been able to pick Stieglitz off as he comes forward, and he's shown a little bit of a nifty footwork to get out of trouble.
Uli Wegner, who's had so many of the prominent German champions, and he's been the guiding voice in the corner of Arthur Abraham. And you could see it's written all over his face last time out. It almost hurt Wegner as much as Abraham himself to have come out of that world title contest against Stieglitz losing so badly.
Well, yeah, I know to get beat by an injury, that's the worst thing, isn't it? It really is. But it was all done by Stieglitz, and you know, to be honest, he was phenomenal that night. Hasn't quite worked for him. He tried the same sort of tactic, but for me, it hasn't quite worked out for him so far.
Not yet. That's better. 2 right hands, 1-2 from Stieglitz.
Much better when he's just not stepping in too much. Keeping a little bit of distance so we can get the shots in.
And straight away the mini eruption of applause from a passionate home crowd. Partisan crowd. Another good jab from Stieglitz. I just wonder as he comes charging in again whether he might not be well employed just to get back and work a bit more behind the jab and just make it a bit more of a technical exercise for a while and get some composure.
What Stieglitz has to do is block the crowd out. He had a bit of success there, just a little bit more relaxed, and the crowd got him hyped up again, and now he's smothering his own work. That's good though, good work.
One thing we've always said about Stieglitz in the fights in which we've watched him together, Barry, as well, is that he does have a terrific engine, doesn't he, to use one of the truisms. He will keep throwing punches for 12 rounds that he's there.
Oh, he's as fit as you like, isn't he? And he'll keep throwing all day, and he got lots of good. He got a lot of skill. He's a good fighter. He's a good all-round fighter. There's nothing exceptional, but everything good.
Referee, I was just about to say, he needs to be having a word about the heads going in, because Stieglitz is really going charging in. It's already caused 1 injury to Abraham, and you don't want to see another.
Stieglitz almost landed with that right hand there, just slipping the jab.
There's the jab from Stieglitz. That's, of course, the reach advantage, clear reach advantage, Stieglitz. And he's not really been able to use it so far.
No, we're certainly having a better round.
Not a classic, but it's fascinating, and it might still explode at any stage. It's that sort of a fight.
That was better from Stieglitz then, just previously, just a little feint before he came in.
Well, I think that's the last warning. He was dragging him down and punching, wasn't he? Pulling him onto the punch. Close round, this one. And the old Abraham, he's heard the thump on the ring the last 10 seconds, and it's his flurry which catches the eye in those closing seconds. Good round.
Yeah, for me, I give that round to Stieglitz and get a bit more success. Just started to relax at the beginning of the round, came out nice and relaxed, and there was a few combinations. Got a little bit tense with the crowd carried away a little bit, but then he got his plan back into play a little bit, and then Abraham just finished strong. He got a round for Stieglitz.
Adrenaline can work two ways, can't it? Last time out, it worked in a really positive way for Stieglitz.
Yeah.
Maybe when Abraham was the favourite. This time, it seems to have almost worked in exactly the other way.
Sometimes you get so hyped up with adrenaline that you rush your work, everything's working too fast for you. You think it'd be weird that you can't throw punches fast enough, but you rush your work. Sometimes you've got to take a little half a second, less than half a second, a little bit of a gap, just to absorb your surroundings and see what's going on, and set up your attacks.
Well, look at that right eye of Stieglitz. Not closing, but badly marked up. Not affecting his vision in any sense, but testimony to the punches that Abraham has got through with, and the first attack comes from Stieglitz in this now round 6. And it's Stieglitz trying to power on the pressure.
They're solid punches as well, they are, John, those straight 1-2s.
Trying to bully Abraham around, Abraham just looking to cover up. Feeling the pace, isn't he?
I think he felt that first right hand, the very first one on the ropes to the right of the camera.
Well, Stieglitz has dominated the first part of this round. And Abraham, is he struggling to keep with him at this sort of pace, at this sort of intensity? Good body shots, wasn't it? Lovely left hook.
It was just because he'd done a little movement before he came in. He did just charge in this time. A little bit of a shimmy with the feet and the shoulders, just to shake it up. Just so Abraham didn't know where it was coming from.
Oh, sort that one out, ref.
That's Abraham holding for me, that is.
Looking for that big right hand over the top, Abraham. Really been able to detonate it so far, and a complaint from Stieglitz that one caught him around the back of the head. Abraham's jabbed well tonight. There's the right hand which did get through. Oh, now it's starting to open up. This is what they paid their money to see.
Good stuff in it, both swinging, both landing as well. Ooh, Abraham trying to set him up there for the big right hand. Just missed. Didn't miss that one though. Good finish to the round here from Abraham, and after being under the cosh a little bit for the first 2 minutes.
Jab from Abraham. Solid left hand lead. A lot of holding from both sides, both vastly experienced and know every dodgy trick in the book between. My classical way of interpreting him is to put him into reverse gear and you've beaten him.
Well, even Carl Froch didn't try and put him in the back foot. Carl Froch boxed great, didn't he? But he went on the back foot himself.
Yeah.
Step back.
So we're into the second half of the fight. Stieglitz starting round 7 fast. Stieglitz, of course, in the red shorts. Current champion, the WBO super middleweight champion of the world.
Abraham breathing heavy, but he always breathes heavy.
He's just having to pace himself, a little nod of acknowledgement to somebody at ringside. as much as to say, yeah, I'm under a bit of pressure, but I know what I'm doing. This is going okay. Still very much in the mix of this fight.
Oh, good left hook there from Abraham.
And
again.
another.
Again, Stieglitz just trying to bull forward there. Where's all the feints gone from the previous 2 rounds? A little shuffle of the feet.
Right from word go, Barry, you just had that feeling tonight that, okay, Stieglitz might ultimately go on to win the fight, but Abraham's just looks that little bit looser, that little bit more relaxed. Stieglitz almost tense, almost just straining for it. That's better. Good right hand from Stieglitz. Again, the head's going close. Oh, it's lovely from Abraham. In and out with that right hand.
It's been a slicker after Abraham, hasn't it, in this fight? Moved quite well.
Shown some good footwork.
Yeah. Oh,
Look at that
lovely.
again. He's fancying it now. 2 of them have landed heavy shots. There's another left hand from Abraham, which is serving him well in this 7th. Oh, excellent from Abraham once more, and Stieglitz all over the place as he holds on and tries to disrupt the rhythm of the challenger.
I'm surprised Stieglitz can't see that left hook coming, because it's not a fast shot, is it? It's very long, clubbing shot almost, but Abraham hitting him every time.
Well, he's got that damage to the right eye, but oh, it's a terrific shot from Abraham, and an absolutely flush.
That was well disguised. That looked like that was going to be a long left hook.
This has shown Abraham little flashes here in this 7th round of Abraham right at his best. Good round. Oh. Boxed really well there, Barry.
He boxed great. You know what, I didn't think Abraham had a fight like this left in him.
Well, I hold my hands up because I think it was against Wilberforce Shiepo and then against De Carolis. I sort of virtually said, Abraham, he is not where he was, he's not the fighter he was, he's a faded force. Well, here, if he can keep this going, what he produced in that 7th round, if he fights like this right the way through to the finish, this is a good little period of pressure from Stieglitz, which they're showing. But if Abraham can keep going what he did in the second half of that round, then he's going to win this fight.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it was the same as the last 2 rounds. Stieglitz has started off very fast, a lot of success in the early stages. Abraham coming back good in the second half of the round, but the difference is in that last round was Abraham started earlier and sustained it to the very end, and that to me was a clear round, one of the clearest rounds for Arthur Abraham.
Good fight. Always did suspect this was going to be the fight of the weekend, and I think that we are going to have a pretty fascinating and gripping 5 rounds, because it certainly looks as though it could well go the distance, this.
I thought it was going to be a very one-sided Stieglitz win. I'm really shocked and really impressed with Abraham's boxing.
Stieglitz with the crowd support, that can sometimes influence judges, I've always thought.
Yeah, of course, because every time you land with a shot, the crowd go crazy. You half land with a shot, the crowd still go crazy.
But Abraham has been hugely popular as well for many a year in Germany, more in the Berlin area than here in Magdeburg. But he's had a terrific career and has huge respect.
Oh, good again, good.
He's going looking for Stieglitz with that right hand, and the greater accuracy and snap at this stage would appear to be in the work of Abraham. One round the back of the head. Stieglitz's cornerman up onto the ring apron protesting. No point deduction. Dirk Jemski was not a happy boy.
I've got to be honest, before that though, Stieglitz looked a little bit uncomfortable. I'm not saying he was hurt, but he didn't look quite right.
Oh, he has taken a point. He's taken a point.
You're ready.
Giving him time. Are you ready? And away we go once more. Right decision? Harsh decision.
Yeah, a little bit harsh, I feel, but
Abraham had been having a good spell.
really good round.
Just taken the rhythm maybe out of his work, and perhaps just what Stieglitz needs to come forcing his way back in the closing stages. Perhaps needed the deduction to level the round up. Stieglitz going in with his head.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I was going to say that Stieglitz that time with the head.
Payback time.
Just sort of took the air out of Abraham's tyres a little bit, didn't it, at that point?
Nice right hand, short chopping right from Stieglitz. And the left hand as well, and Stieglitz getting the better of that exchange. Abraham trying to suck it up, trying to put the pressure on in the closing seconds of the round, but it was Stieglitz who had the grandstand finish.
He did, yeah. That was a round that I still would have given out to Abraham. So, with the point deduction, and it's a 10-point must system, that would make it 10-9 to Stieglitz.
Da bringen wir die Taktik völlig aus dem Arsch. Ja? Das ist die Kraft, das zum Schluss, ja? Wenn er loslegen will.
Here's some of the action from that round. And that was the punch around the back of the head, and for that he got the point deduction. You see straight away.
Yeah, that didn't help.
Well, he was right up onto the corner man. Shouldn't be doing that.
No, but in some ways he's doing his job.
Worked, didn't it?
Yeah, influenced the referee, yeah.
Lass die weg, die linke Gerade, ja? Die lässt du weg und kippst drüber. Hast du zweimal gut geschafft, ja? Okay? Weiter so.
So let me get it clear what you're saying here. You've given that round, you reckon Abraham won the round, but point deduction, so we've got that as a level round, yeah?
But with yeah, so I would give that to...
So it's a level round?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Just keeping my score tally.
No, it can be a level round if it's a point deduction.
Yeah, but if Abraham's won the round. Anyway, let's concentrate on this.
It's a round to Stieglitz, 10-9 to Stieglitz, I got it.
Okay. That's a good solid shot from Abraham. Right hand to the body. So you've got the fight level at this stage, with 4 rounds to go.
I think it's that sort of fight, isn't it? But for me, Abraham boxing the better of the two. Stieglitz doing most of the work.
I'm getting a bit ragged here. Stieglitz, huge fighting willpower. He was tagged by a lovely right hand from Abraham as he came in.
Lovely right hand, you're right. And again, the footwork of Abraham today has been really, really good.
Now, what's he going to do with this? Oh, we're having a point off for it. Yep, point off for Stieglitz for holding. Well, you can hear what the crowd make of that. Can't say he's not been warned.
And a good right hand left hook there from Arthur Abraham. And a left hook.
Yeah, doubled up beautifully there.
He can't miss all night, can he, with that left hook?
It served him well. That's been his quality punch.
Better from Stieglitz, a little bit of bounce in his step. A few more feints he needs coming forward.
It's been a disappointing performance for me from Stieglitz. He's trying to win it by just sheer willpower, by fitness and by brute force, rather than by anything sort of technical.
Well, I think he tried to do the tactics of the second fight, and just go out there and try and, you know, whirlwind his way into a win. Yeah, mug it, but it hasn't worked. Sometimes you can get stuck in a rhythm as a fighter. It's hard to get out of it, and I think he's been a victim of that tonight.
And perhaps just a little bit surprised as the shoulder this time rocks back Abraham's head. Perhaps just a little surprised at the mobility that Abraham's produced.
Yeah, he's been very mobile. He boxed very well off the back foot after Abraham.
Head clash, and there's blood above the left ear of Abraham. Look at this from Abraham.
Brilliant stuff.
Brilliant stuff in the closing stages. And I tell you what, Stieglitz felt the weight of those. Abraham's celebrating like he knows that he can win this. He thinks he's on his way to victory.
Well, he is. That's a 10-8 round for me for Adler Abraham with the point deduction.
Meine Damen und Herren, liebe Boxsportfreunde, wir haben noch eine Durchsage zu machen, und zwar der Gewinner des Mountainbikes ist Andreas Winetzka. Wohnhaft in Zerbst, bitte melden Sie sich.
Geh immer schlau rein, weißt du? Nicht so lange stehen, so lange überlegen. Wenn, dann geh richtig ran. Da passiert nichts, okay? Alles klar.
Stieglitz looks as though he's taken more, doesn't he? He's the more marked up of the two.
Yeah, he's been committed to his tactics.
Some lovely right-hand counter, that one from Abraham.
He just hasn't been able to disguise his work going forward, Abraham, and you know, the head's been there all the time. You know, he hasn't got any angles in his work. He's just been forward and back in straight lines. And Abraham, with his big right hands and those long left hooks, has had plenty of success.
So that goes down as a 10-8 round for Abraham. You've got him a couple of points ahead now as we move into the 10th.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Listen, Stieglitz has pushed the fight from round one. You've got to give him his credit for that.
Yeah, a lot of the rounds were close. Damage around the ear of the champion. He's not fighting like a champion now, is he?
No.
He's fighting with a bit of a desperation about him.
Well, I think he's showing a champion's grit and determination for sure, but the skill level that he's had, that we've seen in the past, is not too evident here tonight. Oh, lovely shot though. That's better.
Yeah. Abraham looking across to his corner and saying, yeah, he got through, but I'm all right, don't worry. Abraham keeping that tight defence. Not too happy about Stieglitz boring in with his head.
No, he's done it quite often, hasn't he, as well?
A really rough fight. A lot of holding and mauling. A lot of fouls. I was quite pleased when I saw Gennaro Rodriguez as the referee for this one, because I always suspected it was going to be a bit of a grueling one and not a particularly pretty one.
Good jab, but a nice little right-hand counter there. Short right-hand counter from Stieglitz. Sloppy bit of work there from Stieglitz and getting countered then from Abraham.
Well, wherever you're watching this one, you'll have your idea as to who's winning it.
Good exchange of punches there. Nice little 1-2 from Abraham, but then Stieglitz getting in with his own right hand.
Tough, hard fight.
And again with Abraham with a nice little left-right counter.
When they're old and grey, these two are going to remember each other forever. So last few seconds of the 10th. That's right hand from Abraham. Again, heads clash.
A good left hook to finish the round there from Stieglitz. But for me, in a very close round, I just favoured Abraham's cleaner work.
What a hard round, though. You put your colours to the Abraham win there on that round, but if it had gone the other way, you couldn't really be surprised. It certainly could. That was the sort of round which could have gone either way, and Stieglitz, with that big left hook, caught the eye on the last big shot of the round.
Listen, that very well could happen. For me, I just feel it was a very close round, and I just think some of those long left-rights of Abraham might be the punches that stand out.
Well, Abraham fighting like a man who believes that he's getting there now.
And he's fighting like a man who had nowhere else to go. And we spoke of this before the fight, didn't we?
Yeah.
This is the last chance saloon you have to feel for him at this elite level.
Aber weiter dein Plan, halt dich rechts, Kleiner. Ja? Komm her, mein Freund. Weiter so, komm.
2 rounds to go.
And all these fights, they're all dreaming of another Froch fight, a Ward fight. They're all dreaming of these big names, these big purses, and that's what's at stake.
Abraham not doing too shabbily on this occasion financially, although he's had much bigger rewards in the past, but he's getting close on $800,000 as the short end of the purse. As I said earlier, Stieglitz getting 2.35 million.
Good start to the round though again from Stieglitz. He always seems to start the faster of the two.
Abraham just trying to keep a close, tight defence, which he's done fairly effectively. That right hand does get through from Stieglitz.
Just exploded out of that, didn't he? Out of the little crouch stance. Stieglitz just standing in front of, when he throws his combinations, just standing in front of Abraham, just needs to take a little shift to the side.
Camera shot from the corner, giving you a real close-up idea of what it's, or give you a feeling of what it's actually like to be in there. This stage of this fight, which has had its twists and turns, and now Abraham starting to come on strong again here in the 11th. Oh, great shot from Stieglitz this time, and the crowd respond to that.
Tremendous one. I honestly think that when Abraham was turning, I think he might just took the sting ever so slightly out of the punch.
Just as well.
But a really cracking shot, yeah.
Stieglitz is now fighting on real desire, trying to get motivated by this terrific support that he's got.
I think the crowd has worked against him tonight for Stieglitz. I think he's been over-eager, smothered some of his work. Forgot his defence. That's the most important part. He's pulled forward without the care of what's coming his way.
Abraham trying to pick quality shots then in the last minute of this 11th round. Oh, it's a good right hand from Abraham, and then back comes Stieglitz, and just for a moment Abraham looked as though he was unsteady, but I think just caught off balance as much as anything else. What an exchange.
Brilliant stuff. Looks tired now, doesn't he, Stieglitz?
Good combination again from Abraham. Stieglitz going in with the head. Two desperately tired men. Is Stieglitz going to surrender this title once more to his greatest rival, Arthur Abraham, or are the judges going to see it the other way? How do you score that one, Barry?
Do you know what? For the first half of the round, you just thought it's a Stieglitz round, and then all the quality comes from Abraham again. And I just feel that again, it's another round that I think he took.
Well, on your card, you've got Abraham cantering away here, and with the sort of lead which is unlikely to be overturned. That's a good right hand from Stieglitz. That was the one where he said he was turning away.
Yeah, just took the sting out of it, didn't he? And then because he's fighting in straight lines, he just allows Abraham back into the fight. And then Abraham, doing that last 30 seconds thing, that Sugar Ray Leonard thing that he's doing so great.
Yeah, before people start jumping in saying you got it wrong, in case the judges go for Stieglitz, we have, let me remind you, all along said there are a lot of rounds here which have been difficult to score. They've been very, very close. It's that sort of fight. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a split decision, Barry.
Either way, it's been a really good fight.
We've got Abraham ahead, but Stieglitz, he's had his moments in every round, and he has fought as the aggressor for much of the fight.
He has bossed aggressor. You've got to stand by what you believe, haven't you? I just think he's taking too many punches coming forward. He starts the round off fast, and he has the last few rounds, and then just faltered in the last sort of 30 seconds, and that knockdown in the 9th round, or that point deduction in the 9th round.
Yeah.
There might be a big difference.
Yeah, how much is that
good
going
right
to
hand
have
there
its
from
effect?
Abraham.
The referee deserves a medal tonight. Stieglitz landing the more punches so far in this final round. Looking for the clean shot. Abraham just covering up. First minute conclusively to the champion of round 12.
It's going towards script, isn't it? The last few rounds again. Stieglitz doing all the work in the first half of the round.
Oh, good shot, right hand from Stieglitz.
Yeah, Abraham didn't ride that shot, did he?
He certainly didn't. And Stieglitz is winning this last round.
Oh, good.
And winning it widely, Barry.
That's a champion right there, isn't it? Gritting your teeth when you got no energy left and throwing a 5-6 punch combination.
It's this sort of desire and willpower of two men, two gladiators, that draws people to boxing. When people say, why do you like boxing? Well, this is the kind of reason why. Oh, he's unsteady on his feet, Stieglitz. He's almost out. He was caught by that shot from Abraham as he came in, the uppercut. And another big right hand from Abraham. Stieglitz is in real and he's down and out. And that surely has decided this fight. Stieglitz gave everything in the onslaught in the early stages of the 12th. And is he allowing it to continue? He is. Box on. Stieglitz is absolutely all in here. And Abraham is looking to finish it here in the closing seconds of this 12th round. Stieglitz somehow gets through to the final bell. What a fight and what a performance from both men. Both congratulated by their corner. But Arthur Abraham tonight has produced a performance which I thought he was no longer capable of achieving. Well, if you've watched that fight tonight with us, good decision. That was one of ones for Box Nation fans and for all fight fans to really savour. Here we go.
Of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecard, and we have a split decision.
Well.
Judge Michael Pernick scores about 113-112. Stieglitz. Judge Paul Thomas scores about 110-115. Abraham. Judge Clark Sammartino scores about 111-114 for the new WBO Super Middleweight Champion of the World!
Well, justice done, Barry. You could see Abraham was fearing the worst. He was fearing